Okay, so this is one more thing for 7.5. This is going to be noticing exponential behavior. So like if we have some data, we have a data table and we have some x's and some y's. Can we look at that data and determine whether it's an exponential function or not? Okay, so here we look at x and y's, right? And we're going to look at each thing. We're going to look at the domain, which is really x, and we're going to look at range, which is y, and see if we have anything that's predictable. Okay, and then so here we have 0 to 5, 5 to 10, 10 to 15, 15 to 20. So we should see increases at a rate of plus 5 each time. Okay, that tells us, well, maybe this is exponential. Okay, and then if we look at, oh, something going on there. Then if we look at y, we could see, is there something going on there? We might look at it at first and think there's not. 64 to 32, so it decreased by 32. 32 to 16, decreased by 16. Then 16 to 8. We should notice maybe it's not the same each time, but it looks like it's going by half. So we would say cuts in half each new point. So that might tell us there is a pattern here. The x's have a pattern, the y's have a very set pattern. So it's some kind of function going on there. And then how do we graph that? So that's the best next thing to do is to just graph it. Okay, so we would use our points. We would start with the first one, 0 to 64, and I went by tens here. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. We'll get one more. So right about there is our first point. Okay, then we got the next one, 5 and 32. Again, these are 5's about halfway, about right there. And then we got 10 and 16. Here's 10. There's 20, so somewhere around there. And then we have 15 and 8, so about halfway, maybe about there. And then we have 20 and 4. So 20, probably somewhere around there. And then we can just connect this with a line. We can see it is. It's something that looks like exponential decay. And we could say this is some kind of y equals abx, or ab to the x power. So that's an example of how to look at some data and determine whether it is exponential behavior. So add that to your notebook as well, or go ahead and do the problems I've assigned.